Namaste, JVM. So, my name is Kritika Shenmare and I belong to the Department of Food, Agriculture and Veterinary Sciences. And the topic which I'll be covering today is food business management. So, this is the 10th session of food business management in this lecture series. So, a manager may accomplish a control and evaluation system. First of all, we'll revise what basically a control and evaluation system is. So, an evaluation system is to provide feedback on how well the design is being implemented, what the results are, and what the adjustments are necessary to get the results that were intended when the solution was chosen. In order for a manager to evaluate his decision, he needs to gather information to determine its effectiveness. Was the original problem solved? Was the original problem solved? If not, is he closer to the desired situation than he was in the beginning of the decision-making process? The manager may accomplish this by asking the following questions. That is, was the wrong alternative selected? Right? So if so, then one of the other alternative generating the decision-making process may be a wiser choice. Was the correct alternative if selected? Was the correct alternative selected but implemented improperly? If so, a manager should focus attention solely on the implementation step to ensure that the chosen alternative is implemented successfully. Was the original problem identified correctly? If so, the decision-making process needs to begin, starting with a revised identification step. Has the implemented alternative been given enough time to be successful? If not, a manager should give the process more time and reevaluate at a later date. Now we'll talk about planning. Of the 5 management functions, planning, organization, staffing, leading, and controlling, planning is the most fundamental. All the other functions stems from planning. However, planning doesn't always get the attention that it deserves. When it does, many managers discover that the planning process isn't as easy as they thought it would be, or that even the best laid plans can go awry. Before a manager can tackle any of the other functions, he or she must first devise a plan. A plan is a blueprint or a goal achievement that specifies the necessary resource allocations, schedules, tasks, and other actions. A goal is a desired future state of the organization attempt to realize. Goals are important because Goals are important because an organization exists for a purpose and a goal defines and states that purpose. The goals specify future ends and plans specify today's needs. So, what basically is the meaning of planning? The word planning incorporates both ideas. It means determining the organization's goals and defining the meaning to achieve them. Planning, however, allows managers the opportunity to adjust to the environment instead of merely reacting to it. Planning increases the possibility of survival in business by actively anticipating and managing the risk that may occur in future. In short, planning is preparing for tomorrow, today. It is the activity that allows manager to determine what they want and how they will achieve it. Not only does planning provide direction and a unity of purpose for organization, it also answers 6 basic questions in regard to any activity. That is, what needs to be accomplished, when is the deadline, where will all this be done, who will be responsible for it, how will it get done, and how much energy, time, and resources are required to accomplish this goal. Recognizing the advantage of planning. The military saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, is very true. Without a plan, managers are set up to encounter error, waste, and delays. A plan, on the other hand, helps a manager organize resources and activities effectively and efficiently to achieve goals. The advantage of planning are numerous. That is, planning fulfills the following objectives. That is, gives an organization a sense of direction. Without planning and goals, organizations merely react to daily occurrences without considering what will happen in a long run. For example, the solution that makes sense in a short term doesn't always make sense in the long term. Plan avoids this drift situation and ensures that short-range efforts will support and harmonize future goals. Focuses attention on objectives and results. Plan keeps the people who carry them out focused on the anticipated results. In addition, keeping sight of the goal also motivates the employees, establishes a basis for teamwork. Diverse groups cannot effectively cooperate in joint projects without an integrated plan. The examples are numerous, that is, plumbers, carpenters, and electricians cannot build a house without blueprints. In addition, military activities require the coordination of Army, Navy, and Air Force units. Helps anticipate problems and cope with change. When management plans it, it can help forecast future problems and make any necessary changes upfront to avoid them. Of course, surprises such as the 1973 quadrupling of oil prices can always catch an organization short, but many changes are easier to forecast. Planning for these potential problems helps to minimize mistakes and reduce the surprises that inevitably occur. It provides the guidelines for decision making. Decisions are future oriented. If management doesn't have any plans for the future, they will have few guidelines for making current decisions. If a company knows that it wants to introduce a new product 3 years in the future, its management must be mindful of the decision they make now. Plans help both managers and employees keep an eye on the big picture. It serves as a prerequisite to employ all the other management functions. Planning is primary because without knowing what an organization wants to accomplish, management can't intelligently undertake any of the basic managerial activities, that is, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. Using plans to achieve goals. Planning is a crucial activity for it designs the map that lays the groundwork for the other functions. The plan itself specifies what should be done, by whom, where, when, and how. All businesses, from the smallest restaurants to the largest multinational corporation, needs to develop plans for achieving success. But before an organization can plan a course of action, it must first determine what it wants to achieve. Objectives, the end results desired by the organization, are derived from the organization's mission statement. A mission statement explains what the organization stands for and why it exists. A strong mission statement symbolizes legitimacy to external audiences such as investors, customers, and suppliers. Likewise, a strong mission statement allows employees to identify with the overall purpose of the organization and commit to preserving it. The mission statement is the basis for all the goals and plans outlined through the organization. Therefore, managers must use effective planning and goal-setting techniques to ensure the internal policies, roles, performances, structures, products, and expenditures are in line with the mission of the organization. Now, talking about the criteria for effective goals, to make sure that goal setting benefits the organization, managers must adopt certain characteristics and guidelines. The following describes the criteria, that is, the goal must be specific and measurable. When possible, use quantitative terms such as increasing profit by 2% or decreasing student enrollment by 1% to express the goal. The goal should cover key result areas because goals cannot be set for every aspect of employee or organizational performance. Managers should identify a few key areas. These key areas are those activities that contribute to the most of the company performance, for example, customer relation or sales. The goal should be challenging but not too difficult. When goal is unrealistic, they set employee up for failure and lead to low employee morale. However, if goals are too easy, employees may not feel motivated. The managers must be sure that goals are determined based on existing resources and are not beyond the team's time, equipment, and financial resources. The goal should specify the time period over which they will be achieved. The deadlines give team members something to work towards and help ensure continued progress. At the same time, managers should set short-term deadlines along the way so that their subordinates are not overwhelmed by one big, seemingly unaccomplishable goal. It would be more appropriate to provide a short-term goal such as establish customer database by June 30. The goal should be linked to rewards. The goal should be linked to rewards. The people who attain goals should be rewarded with something meaningful and related to the goal. Not only will employees feel that their efforts are valued, but that they will have something tangible to move them in the future. Coordination of goals. All the different levels of management should have plans that work together to accomplish the organization's purpose. The plan of the top, middle, and first level managers of an organization should work together to achieve the main goals. All the managers plan basically the same way, but the kinds of plans they develop and the amount of time they spend on planning vary. Here are some examples. That is, the top level managers are concerned with longer time periods and with plans for larger organizational units. Their planning includes developing the mission for these organizational units, the organizational objectives and major policy areas. These goals are called as strategic goals or objectives. The middle level managers planning responsibility center or translating broad objectives of top level management into more specific goals for work units. These goals are called tactical goals or objectives. The first level managers are involved in day-to-day plans such as scheduling working hours, deciding what work will be done and by whom, and develop structures to reach these goals. These goals are also called operational goals or objectives. If a first level manager develops a set of plans that contradicts that of the middle level manager, conflicts will result. Therefore, all managers must work together in planning the activities and the activities of the others. So that's all for this session. We'll see the detailing types of plans in the next session. Okay, so that's all for today. That's all for this session. Thank you.